What's going on, guys? It's Asal, and today we're going to discuss the upcoming edition of high refresh rate servers in Overwatch and what sort of effect you can expect them to have on your gameplay. Refresh rate, sometimes referred to as tick rate in relation to an online game, is simply the speed at which the server and the client exchange information. So for example, your PC or console is the client and the server is what's doing the job of actually hosting the game and ensuring that everyone in the game is on the same page. As you can imagine, the faster the server and client exchange information, the better the overall gameplay will feel, especially in a fast-paced game like Overwatch. I'll give you a few examples of what happens when the refresh rate is too low. So say you're low in health, you're running around a corner, and you just make it in time, but a split second after you've made it into cover, you get killed by a camping Bastion. Or another example is, you're playing Battlefield 4, enough said. Though in all fairness, Battlefield 4 has gone a long way from launch, that joke was more directed to the game at launch. But what happened in those situations was that the client and the server could not communicate fast enough, and there was a discrepancy between what's happening on your screen and on your opponent's screen. So the server has to make a decision as to whether or not the shot connects or not, as on your screen the shot should not have connected, but on your opponent's screen it should have connected. Overwatch's netcode uses a mechanic called favor the shooter, in which the server will, as you may have guessed it, favor the shooter in the situation we just talked about. Now obviously this isn't the most fun for the player being shot at, but the reasoning behind this decision is that it's a lot less rage-inducing to get shot while around a corner than to have your shot simply not register at all. Now, does a high refresh rate server eliminate this scenario? Not entirely, but it will help tighten up those gaps that occur on a lower refresh rate server. Now, there still may be scenarios where there is some discrepancy between two clients, but since updates are being done at a much faster rate, the difference between the two clients won't be nearly as much with a lower refresh rate. Latency and/or lag is actually the main factor in this situation, as if you have slow internet and your game is not updating fast enough, there's simply nothing the game can do. They can send out information as fast as they want with their refresh rate, but if the information isn't getting there in time, there's nothing that can really be done. You can't fix bad internet, and there will always be some sort of delay as information needs to go from one PC to another PC, potentially across the country, and there's simply nothing that can be done about that as internet speeds are not instantaneous. But with that being said, a higher refresh rate should still help make the game feel more responsive overall. Before this patch, the refresh rate in Overwatch was 21 Hz, which means the game was being updated 21 times a second, which for a competitive shooter is a little on the low end. Now if you want to try and visualize this, imagine that you're playing a game in only 20 frames a second. Maybe you haven't done that before, but chances are you've probably gamed in 30 frames a second, and you know the difference between 30 and 60 is it's big. It's not nearly as smooth, it's not up to date, and for a fast-paced game like Overwatch, you really want to be up to date as fast as possible. So this higher refresh rate will definitely be appreciated. So we're getting an upgrade all the way from 21 Hz up to 63 Hz, which is over 3 times as fast. This update is being rolled out right now for PC, though Blizzard has stated that it might take a few weeks for these changes to be applied across every region. Though I have some not so great news for those of you who play on console, as they haven't actually started making this change on console yet, but rather Blizzard has stated that they are already exploring how to bring it to console, which sounds very non-committal, but hopefully we'll see some higher tick rate servers on consoles sometime in the near future. Click that like button if you're stoked for high refresh rate servers, and if you want to see more Overwatch content and you are not already subscribed to my channel, be sure and hit that subscribe button down below. Now everybody, this has been Asal, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.